The notification lit up my phone screen just as I was closing my laptop for the day. Unknown number. I almost swiped it away, but something made me pause. Olivia, this is Diane. Ryan is in serious trouble. He needs $60,000 immediately, or he's going to lose everything. I know you still care about family. Call me back. I stared at the message for a solid 10 seconds. Then I did something I never thought I'd do. I laughed. Actually laughed out loud in my downtown Seattle apartment, the city lights twinkling below me through the floor-to-ceiling windows I could finally afford after the divorce. Diane. My ex-mother-in-law, the woman who'd blocked my number 18 months ago with the parting text, "You destroyed my son's life. Don't ever contact this family again." And now she wanted $60,000. I set my phone down and poured myself a glass of wine. A nice Cabernet. The kind I used to hide in the back of the pantry because Ryan's mother said spending more than $12 on wine was wasteful. Funny how that word only applied to my money, never theirs. Let me back up, because you're probably wondering the same thing everyone asks when I tell this story. How did it get that bad? How did I let it happen? I met Ryan at a friend's wedding 6 years ago. He was charming, funny, attentive. We clicked immediately. When he proposed after 8 months, I said yes without hesitation. I was 30, had a great career as a software engineer, and thought I'd found my person. The first red flag came 2 weeks before the wedding. Diane pulled me aside during the rehearsal dinner. "Ryan mentioned you keep separate bank accounts," she said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. "That's not how family works, dear. Marriage is about unity, about trust." I should have seen it then. But I was young, in love, and desperately wanted her approval. "My parents always kept their finances separate," I said carefully. "It worked for them." "Well, you're not marrying into your family anymore. You're marrying into ours." She patted my hand. "Ryan earns a good living. Surely you trust him to manage things properly?" Here's the thing about manipulation. It doesn't come at you all at once. It's gradual. A suggestion here, a guilt trip there. By the time you realize you're being controlled, you're already in, too deep. 3 months into our marriage, Ryan convinced me to add him to my checking account. "Just for emergencies," he said, "so I can help if something happens." 6 months in, Diane suggested I was being selfish for keeping my higher salary separate. "Ryan works so hard. Don't you think it's emasculating when his wife makes almost twice what he does?" I made $95,000 a year. Ryan made $52,000. But somehow, I was the problem. Within a year, all our money went into one joint account. Ryan had full access. I had to ask permission for anything over $50. Yes, I had to ask my husband for permission to spend my own paycheck. "It's about budgeting," he'd explain when I questioned it. "Mom taught me how to manage money properly. You're too impulsive, Liv. Remember when you wanted to buy that expensive coffee maker? I'd wanted a $200 espresso machine. Meanwhile, Ryan was dropping $400 at golf outings every month, but I was impulsive. The worst part? Diane reinforced everything. Every doubt, every question, every moment I thought this isn't normal, she was there. "You're so lucky to have Ryan," she'd say. "He takes such good care of you. Most men wouldn't put up with a wife who questions their decisions." I started seeing a therapist in secret. Paid for it with a credit card Ryan didn't know about. Doctor. Chen was the one who first used the word financial abuse. "But he doesn't hit me," I protested. "He's not cruel." "Abuse isn't always physical," she said gently. "Control is control, whether it's your body or your bank account." I didn't want to believe her, so I stayed. Convinced myself it was fine. That marriage was about compromise, that I was overreacting. Then came April 15th, tax day. I was working from home when Ryan's laptop pinged with a notification. He'd left it open on the kitchen table when he rushed out for his morning run. I shouldn't have looked, but the preview showed a calendar event. J, apartment, 2 p.m. J, Jessica, Ryan's coworker, the one he'd mentioned a few times, just a friend from the office. My hands shook as I opened his email, and there it was, apartment lease, in Ryan's name, co-signed by someone named Jessica Martinez. Starting date, 6 months ago. 6 months. He'd been paying for an apartment I knew nothing about for 6 months. The documents were meticulous. Rent, $2,000 a month. Utilities, furniture, groceries, all from our joint account, all categorized as business expenses in his budget spreadsheets. The same spreadsheets he'd used to tell me we couldn't afford to visit my sister in California last Christmas. I kept scrolling. Jewelry purchases, dinner reservations, hotel stays, a weekend trip to Portland. $12,000. In 6 months, he'd spent $12,000 of our money on another woman. I was still sitting there, laptop open, when Ryan came back from his run. "Why are you on my computer?" His voice was sharp, defensive. "Who's Jessica Martinez?" The color drained from his face. "What?" "The woman whose apartment you've been paying for. The woman you took to Portland. The woman you've been seeing for 6 months." My voice was eerily calm. "Who is she, Ryan?" He tried everything. Denial first. "You're being paranoid." Then anger. "You went through my private emails." Then bargaining. "It's not what you think. Let me explain." I just stood up, walked to our bedroom, and started packing. That's when he called his mother. Diane arrived within 30 minutes. I was folding clothes into my suitcase when I heard her voice downstairs. "Olivia, stop this nonsense right now." I kept packing. She appeared in the doorway. "Ryan made a mistake. A small mistake. Marriage is about forgiveness. He's been cheating on me for 6 months, Diane, and spending thousands of our dollars on his mistress. Don't be dramatic. Men have needs, and frankly, if you'd been a better wife, he wouldn't have strayed." I stopped folding. Turned to face her. "Excuse me? You're always working, always prioritizing your career. What did you expect? And now you're going to throw away your marriage over one little affair? Get out of my house. This is my son's house." "Actually," I said, pulling up the deed on my phone, "it's my house. I bought it 2 years before we met. My name is on the title, solely, so get out." The divorce was brutal. Diane hired Ryan, an expensive lawyer. They fought for everything: spousal support, division of assets. They even tried to claim he deserved half the value of my house because he'd contributed to improvements. The improvements in question? He'd painted the guest bathroom, once. But I had evidence: emails, bank statements, screenshots of every transaction. My lawyer was excellent, and more importantly, Washington is a no-fault community property state. His affair didn't legally matter, but his financial deception did. In the end, I kept my house, my retirement accounts, and my dignity. Ryan got half of what we'd saved during our marriage, which wasn't much after his spending spree. No alimony. No ongoing obligations. The day the divorce was finalized, Diane sent me that final text, the one about destroying her son's life. Then she blocked me. I didn't hear from either of them for 18 months, until tonight. I picked up my phone and read the message again. Ryan is in serious trouble. He needs $60,000 immediately, or he's going to lose everything. I thought about my life now. The promotion I'd gotten 6 months after the divorce, freed from Ryan's constant criticism about my obsession with work. The studio apartment I'd rented downtown before buying my current place. The therapy I could afford now that I wasn't supporting 2 adults on one salary. The peace, the beautiful, quiet, drama-free peace. My phone rang. Unknown number. I knew who it was before I answered. "Hello? Olivia. Thank God. Did you get my text?" Diane's voice was strained, desperate even. "I did." "Then you'll help." "I knew you would. You always had a good heart." I almost laughed again. "What does Ryan need $60,000 for, Diane?" "He's being sued by that woman, Jessica. She's claiming he made promises, that he owes her money. It's all lies, of course. But the lawyer says if we don't settle, she'll take him to court and he could lose even more. So let her take him to court." Silence. Then, "Olivia, please, he's desperate. He could lose his job over this scandal. He could lose everything." "You mean like I almost did?" "That was different." "How, exactly?" "You were being unreasonable. You left over one mistake." I took a long sip of wine. "Diane, let me make sure I understand. Ryan cheated on me, spent thousands of our dollars on his mistress. You called me dramatic and told me to forgive him. Now that mistress is suing him, and you want me to give him $60,000 to make it go away? You have the money. I know you do. You got that big promotion. How do you know about my promotion?" She hesitated. Ryan keeps track of you. On social media. Of course he did. I'd blocked him, but I should have known Diane was feeding him information. Here's what's going to happen, I said calmly. I'm going to finish my wine. I'm going to enjoy my evening, and I'm not giving Ryan a single penny. But he's family. No, Diane, he's not. He stopped being family the moment he chose to betray me. You stopped being family the moment you chose to defend him. How can you be so cold after everything we did for you? Everything you did for me? I couldn't help myself. I laughed. You mean like trying to control every aspect of my life? Like making me feel guilty for earning a good salary? Like telling me I deserve to be cheated on? I never said that. You said if I'd been a better wife, he wouldn't have strayed. Same thing. Olivia, please. I'm begging you. I can't watch my son lose everything. Then help him yourself. I don't have that kind of money. Not my problem. You owe him this. He supported you. He supported me? Diane, I made almost twice what he made. I paid for 70% of our household expenses. He controlled all of it and still managed to go into debt financing his affair. You're twisting everything. No. I'm finally seeing it clearly. I stood up, walked to my window. The Space Needle was lit up against the night sky. Beautiful. Free. Ryan made his choices. He chose to cheat. He chose to lie. He chose to spend money he didn't have on promises he apparently couldn't keep. Those are his consequences to face. What happened to you? You used to be so sweet, so kind. I got therapy. I got self-respect. I got out. Please. Her voice cracked. I'm his mother. I can't watch him suffer. Then maybe you should have raised him better. Taught him that actions have consequences, that women aren't ATMs. That marriage is a partnership, not a dictatorship. How dare you? Goodbye, Diane. Wait. Olivia, wait. I hung up. Then I blocked the number, and Ryan's number, which I should have done 18 months ago. My phone immediately lit up with a new call. Different number. I sent it to voicemail. Then another. She was calling from every phone she could find. Each one went to voicemail. Finally, a text came through from yet another number. You're going to regret this. When Ryan loses everything, it'll be your fault. His suffering will be on your conscience. I read it. Then I typed back, his choices, his consequences. Not my circus, not my monkeys anymore. Block. I made myself dinner. A real dinner. Not the bland, boring meals Diane used to insist were proper. Spicy Thai curry with extra chilies. I ate it while watching my favorite show. The one Ryan used to complain was too violent. Around 9 p.m., my doorbell rang. I checked the camera. Ryan, looking disheveled, desperate. I didn't answer. Just watched him on the screen as he rang again. And again. Liv, please, I know you're home. Just talk to me. I turned off the screen, put in my earbuds, continued watching my show. 20 minutes later, he gave up. The next morning, I got an email. From Diane's actual email address this time. Subject line, final plea. I didn't open it. Just marked it as spam. 3 days later, I saw the announcement on LinkedIn. Ryan had left his job at the sales company, pursuing new opportunities, his post said. A mutual friend reached out. Did you hear about Ryan? No. What happened? Jessica Martinez filed a lawsuit. Breach of promise, fraud, emotional distress. Apparently, he told her he was divorced and getting a huge settlement from you. Convinced her to invest in his business venture. Used her money to maintain the apartment and lifestyle. Now she wants it all back, plus damages. How much? $80,000, plus legal fees. And his company found out about the fraud implications. They fired him to avoid the liability. I should have felt satisfaction, that karmic justice everyone talks about. Instead, I just felt tired. That's rough, I said carefully. His mom is posting all over Facebook about how you refuse to help him, about how you're heartless. I wasn't surprised. Block and delete. That's my policy now. Good for you. Honestly, everyone knows the truth anyway. Ryan's been pulling this entitled act for years. He finally ran out of people willing to fund it. I thanked my friend and got back to work. I had a presentation to give that afternoon. A big one, for a potential client worth $500,000 to our company. That's the thing Diane never understood. While she was busy trying to make me feel guilty for my success, I was building something real. A career. A future. A life that didn't depend on anyone's approval but my own. The presentation went perfectly. My boss pulled me aside afterward. "Olivia, that was exceptional. I'm recommending you for the senior architect position. It comes with a 30% raise and equity options." I floated home that evening, literally felt like my feet weren't touching the ground. My phone buzzed with another unknown number. I almost ignored it. But curiosity got the better of me. "Olivia, this is Diane. Please." I'm losing my house. Ryan moved in with me after the lawsuit, and I had to take out a second mortgage to help with his legal fees. "I can't make the payments. Please. I know we've had our differences, but I'm desperate." I read it twice. Then I screenshot it and sent it to my therapist. She'd been encouraging me to document any contact from them. "Evidence of ongoing harassment," she called it. Then I replied, "Diane, I'm sorry you're struggling, but this is not my responsibility. Ryan is a grown man who made his own choices. You chose to enable those choices. Those are your consequences to manage, not mine. Please don't contact me again." Block. Dr. Chen was proud of me at our next session. "You set a clear boundary without being cruel. That's growth." "I don't feel good about it," I admitted. "She's losing her house. Because she chose to take out a second mortgage to fund her adult son's legal defense for fraud. That's her choice, Olivia. Not your emergency. I know. Logically, I know. But years of conditioning. Takes time to undo. You're doing the work. Be patient with yourself." 6 months later, I bought my dream car. A Tesla Model 3 inches midnight blue. I'd wanted one for years, but Ryan had always said it was impractical and showing off. I posted a picture on Instagram, genuinely excited. Within an hour, I had a message request. From Ryan himself. "Nice car. Must be nice to have money while I'm living in a studio apartment and fighting lawsuits. Hope you're happy." I stared at it for a long moment, thought about all the things I could say, about accountability, about consequences, about how he did this to himself. Instead, I just deleted the message. Didn't even block him, just deleted it and moved on. Because that's the thing I finally learned. Some people don't deserve your energy, don't deserve your anger or your explanation or your time. They just deserve to be forgotten. 1.5 years after that text from Diane, I met someone new. His name was Marcus. Funny how names come full circle. And he was everything Ryan wasn't. Kind, supportive, respectful. And most importantly, he had his own damn money and never once asked about mine. On our third date, he asked about my previous marriage. "You don't talk about it much." It wasn't a good situation. I was financially abused, controlled, and ultimately cheated on. "I'm sorry you went through that." "I'm not. Not anymore." I smiled. It taught me what I won't tolerate, what I deserve, and how strong I actually am. "You're amazing, you know that?" "I do now." We got engaged a year later. Simple proposal, just the two of us on a hiking trail outside the city. No drama, no family politics, just two people choosing each other. I didn't get any messages from Diane or Ryan. Didn't expect to. But I did get a message from an unknown number the week before my wedding. "I saw your engagement announcement. Congratulations. I hope he treats you better than I did. You deserved better. I'm sorry." It was Ryan. I could tell from the number, even though I'd blocked his previous ones. I read it 3 times, thought about responding, thought about what I might say. In the end, I just deleted it, blocked the number, and went back to addressing wedding invitations with my fiancé. Some apologies come too late. Some bridges burn, and they should stay burned. My wedding was perfect. Small, intimate, exactly what I wanted. My family, his family, friends who'd supported me through everything. Dr. Chen even came, which made me tear up. No drama, no control, no one telling me how to live my life. Just love and respect and the freedom to be exactly who I was. That night, as Marcus and I danced at our reception, my phone buzzed in my clutch. I ignored it. Whatever it was could wait. Later, getting ready for bed, I checked. Unknown number. Of course. "Olivia, This is Diane. I saw photos from your wedding on Facebook. It looked beautiful. Ryan is in rehab now. The stress from everything led him to some dark places. I just thought you should know. In case you wanted to reach out, I showed it to Marcus. What do you think I should do? What do you want to do? I thought about it. Really thought about it. About 18-year-old me who'd fallen for a charming man at a wedding. About 24-year-old me who'd said yes to a proposal. About 26-year-old me who'd let herself be controlled and diminished. About 28-year-old me who'd finally had enough. And about 33-year-old me, standing in a hotel room on my wedding night, married to a man who loved and respected me, with a career I was proud of and a future that was entirely my own. Nothing, I said. I want to do absolutely nothing. I deleted the message, blocked the number, and turned off my phone. Then I chose my own happiness, just like I'd been doing for the past 5 years, and I never looked back.